just finished up our Thursday prep on the field, and really one more day tomorrow before we go. Before we head up to Louisville, another day of practice and preparation. We'll continue out through the day-to-day as coaching staff and players as well. They've had a really good look this week from our scout teams. I think it's important to make sure to commend not just who scout team players of the week are, but really overall all those guys. And that's what, continuing to add depth and build depth on your football team. It elevates the level of your scout teams, the look teams. And if you're going against better competition during practice, then obviously it's going to elevate and continue to shrink that gap between practice and games, and that's what we're always looking to do. Scout players of the week on special teams was Nehemiah Chandler offensively, and I thought the whole offensive line did a good job on the scout team this week. Patrick Screws might have been from the developmental practice today. He did a little one-on-one wide receiver DB drill and had a big catch across the middle, scored on it about 40 yards out. So big Screws about 330, running down the seam. There was elevated his status as scout player of the week. And then Jack Collins on the defensive side, on the offensive field. And also, we talk all the time about football when we come in here, but 50% of what we do is with the academics of our guys and how important the academics are and how important it is that our guys come here and understand the ultimate goal is to get that degree from Georgia Tech and to graduate and build themselves a better life after football. And when we talk about life after football, I'm not saying life after when you graduate college. I hope all these guys go on and continue to play for a long time. But eventually they will be done, and to have that Georgia Tech degree with you is something that's irreplaceable. So we had student athletes of the week this week. Zach Toby on the defensive side and Tana on the offensive side. I'll let you guys the proper pronunciation of his entire name there. But to see those young guys come in and get adjusted quickly in school, I mean, it's outstanding. I mean, our team GPA is higher than the average GPA that our team had coming out of high school, if that tells you anything about the academic support and how these guys work and what they do, not just in the 20 hours a week of football they're in. So I've been proud of those guys. We got to continue. We got a 1 o'clock academic meeting today, so we'll see if I still have a smile on my face then. So, but we got a big challenge for us this week. Really big challenge. Good football team, Louisville. We talked a little bit on Tuesday about it. I think Jeff Brom does a great job of coaching, of developing, putting the right people in place, calling the game from the offensive standpoint, and just as the team's excited to go compete and play, as the head coach, I'm excited to compete against Jeff and on the game. I think he does it the right way. I respect him as a coach. I really do. He's a good man. I don't think there's a better compliment in the world than to be called a ball coach when you're in this profession, and he's a ball coach. So they got good players on both sides of the ball, good special teams. So it's going to take a really good day, good execution, disciplined play for us to be able to go up there and have the game close in the fourth quarter and have a chance to come out with the win at the end. So that's what we're planning to do. That's what we're working to do, and go out there and play and play against a good opponent and have a good 3:30 game on Saturday.
Okay. Questions, Kelly?
With the defense, are you looking to maybe be more aggressive in coverage and maybe trust your guys a little bit more as you guys are trying to figure out maybe how to get more pressure on the quarterback? Is that something you look to?
Who would have thought Brody would be the one today? I mean, of all guys, Brody. I don't know if the game got to his head last week or
Getting a couple snaps, yeah.
Yeah, Brody will be in this building for many years. I'm going to put that on record to say he's going to follow the same path, I believe, as some others who've come through these doors. So, no, I mean, different calls have different alignments, different things to do. We put our guys in the position we feel is the best for them, and they've got to go execute as well. They've got to, if the call is to press and or press bail, or bail, play off coverage, or play off coverage and creep into press. I mean, we got to be able to stay consistent in our execution of it as well.
That's about the quarterback run game. When you and Buster sit down Is that sort of like a set number going a week? Does it depend on the opponent or how the game plays out? How many times you want to run Haynes and Zach?
To me, it's really no different than the other parts of the game plan. I was going to say something kind of funny there, but then I thought it really wasn't funny. It would have been stupid. But so I just better let people think you or something than open your mouth and prove them correct, right? So no, it's part of the plan. It's what we feel like that we can do that week, against whatever the scheme is, the personnel is on the other side of the ball. But it's part of the bigger picture and the bigger plan of putting the plan together. When I sit down starting on Sunday night and throughout the day on Monday of putting the overall how we're going to play the game together, then I meet with those guys, meet with the coordinators, and we put in what we feel we need or is appropriate in that game. Sometimes teams play certain looks or fronts or coverage or whatnot that don't dictate it. So it depends on a lot of factors. Some weeks are more than others, and some weeks are less.
Their defense has done a good job of creating negative plays, and they've been aggressive. Is that something you feel like your offense can take advantage of?
Take advantage of them creating negative
Of them
plays?
being aggressive.
Well, I mean, they've got 19 TFLs right now in 2 games and 9 sacks. I mean, that's even, I'd say, more than aggressive. That's pretty daggum good. And, that's what defense, I mean, they're aggressive. They get after the quarterback. They play, they mix their coverages up. They play some things up in the front that are challenging. But where you might be, where the strength of one call always has a weakness in another part of the call. So it's our ability to be able to take advantage of what the weaknesses are in each call, be able to win our one-on-ones. The best thing you can ask for in the game of football is to get to one-on-one. I mean, if you're wide open or you got nobody on you, it's usually a bust on the other side. So, we got to take advantage when we have the opportunity to win one-on-ones. That goes for all 3 phases.
Jackson.
Their offense has utilized a lot of play action to the first couple weeks. Is it as simple as to say stopping the run is kind of the key to get them off of that and try to, where they can't utilize it as much?
I mean, really, play action is used when they are stopping the run. You put extra guys in the box. Like I said, there's strengths and weaknesses to every call. It's hard to find true balance in every call because you're always going to rob Peter to pay Paul at some point. If you put an extra guy in the box, you're going to be one less in coverage, and vice versa. So, it puts the stress on defenders reading their keys, having good eyes. The worst thing to do is get caught in no man's land, right? To get caught in that middle ground. I'd rather be all out and have one go over the top of our head than sit back and get kind of nickel and dimed, to death down the field. So, that's what we're looking to do. Is we got to do a good job with our keys. We got to do a good job with our eyes, our alignments. He has a good play action game, but again, the reason play action game is good is because people are putting extra guys down to stop the run.
What has Harrison Moore done to kind of get into the O-line rotation? He's got an opportunity to play more as, the last couple of games. Just
Played well, practiced well, matured, developed. He's a good football player, and he's going to be a good football player. But like I said, I mean, our job is to put the best guys on the field and play. If we don't do that, we're doing a disservice to everyone else on the team. So as guys continue to develop, as the year goes on, you'll see more and more guys in that position.
I want to ask you about Jordan Vandenberg. What did you and Jess see when you looked at his tape back?
Tough.
And
Tough.
And how much has he improved since he got here?
Oh man, I mean he's what you want in an interior defensive lineman. I mean every play is a street fight to him, and I think he's taken that approach of every play being a street fight, and he's added the technique and the fundamental part to it. For a man his size and his strength, he's got good twitch. He's been able to affect the quarterback probably more times than you would think. So we've got to continue not just have him in position to stop the run, but in position to be able to generate pass rush or occupy 2 blockers and have someone else get the one-on-one.
The team has gotten off to some slow starts away from home. Is that more about bringing more energy, or is it more about maybe executing better?
trying to energy, execute. Look, if we don't execute, we need to execute better. That's true. Offensively, I think both games on the road we went down and scored on the first drive. Did we? No, didn't.
Did Florida State not at Syracuse?
Syracuse was the 3 and out, and then we scored on the second one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're trying to get me to think about the past games, Rod. Is like, I mean, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. I mean, the only reason I know what I had for breakfast is because my wife makes me the same thing every day. It's an little egg white sandwich. It's got fat-free cream cheese on it and some type of healthy, lean meat. And then a yogurt that has 15 grams of protein in it. So I know every morning what I eat, but it's tough to go back that far. But yeah, I mean, it's not about energy. You've got, if you don't bring energy to a college football game on a Saturday, I mean, you probably don't have a pulse. You got to execute. You got to, like I said, you get a one-on-one, you got to win a one-on-one. You got to pass block, you got to pass protect. You got to, execute a certain scheme in the run game. You got to execute a certain scheme. You got to, make a tackle in space. We got to make our tackles in space. That's really the short end of it, I guess.
Avery Boyd's been a guy that's been a weapon for you guys this year, is that kind of flex. What have you seen from him in terms of his development and being able to execute that? Obviously, really filled some big shoes with Brett, too, going down in that red zone kind of thing for you.
Yeah, we started working Avery there. It's something for a couple of years now we've really talked about with Avery and worked with. And it's almost like every time he'd just about get there, ready to go, something would happen. And just same in spring. He had an outstanding spring, and then right towards the end, got a little banged up, and took us some time to come back from it. And now that he's been back and he's really settled into that role, he's a big man that runs fast now, and he picks up a full head of steam. I mean, he's a scary sucker coming running at you, and we got to continue to find more ways to get him the ball. The more we do utilize him in within games, the faster he's going to play. I mean, the speed of the game. You can see times when he's out there, maybe something new, for the first time he's seen it, little cautious with things, or then that doesn't happen twice. So, but he's a matchup problem now. I mean, you can get him. He's got the size and the strength to be able to block and do those things, but also to get matched up on linebackers and safeties, and with the speed of a receiver. So.
Oh, Kelly, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I have one last question. With Horace, it seems like he's about ready to go, just from seeing him warm up and stuff the last couple of games. What does he bring to the table if he's back? And kind of that speaks a lot, I guess, to the depth you built on the defensive line, that you guys have played well without him up to this point. But what does he bring when you add him into the equation?
He's got to bring it. And Horace is a great kid. I love Horace Lockett to death now. And but we practice Sunday to Friday and go out and develop individually. And look, our job as coaches is to put the best 11 guys on the field. And the consistency we talk about all the time is something that with Horace, he's got to continue to be more consistent with what he's doing. He's a big body guy. He can move well. When he's on, he's on. And it's just it's a shame that unfortunately he had that injury with his hand, and I think he's got another week or so with the cast on. And for a young D lineman, with first time having something like that, working back through it, I'm excited to see where he'll be in a couple of weeks once the cast is off and he's fully ready to go. He had last couple of days he's done some really good things. So. I'm excited for the point when he gets back in there and becomes in the mix with everybody.
Okay, that it?
That's it.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, go Jackets.
Appreciate it.
It's the
You
same.
like having the same breakfast every day? I mean, that's the real follow-up. I don't know.
That's the same one. I wrote that on there like a week ago.
See you now.
Yeah.